Hey everybody, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is going to be focused on One Piece, Chapter 809, Master Nekomamushi, or Cat Viper if you want to use the Viz version. And we have a nice little two-page color this week, with Luffy, with Robin, Frankie, and Brook.
Yakuza now.
Yeah, or at least like just hanging out, smoking, drinking. Look, I like the fact that Brook has smoke coming out of his eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. And Frankie's just chugging.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's there like with kind of like the later half of the Straw Hats. We also have like the boss cat right there.
Yeah.
Like there's a next few pages on the manga team version are just like some advertisements for things.
Yeah.
And at this point, we're learning what the reveal about Caesar's poison gas weapon is kind of stalled by the fact that Duke Inuarashi or Doggypine or what? There's actually something about that in the Viz version, but I'm going to get that in a moment. Is noticing Brook.
Of course it's going to get stalled. We're stalling on Sanji, we're going to stall on this poison gas, we're going to stall on everything.
I like the fact that Wanda's like, I feel the same way, but he's a savior of ours. What an appetizing savior he is. He still hasn't recovered from his injury, so you have to save that for later. Later doesn't work for me either.
I can't believe they like save that for later. Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
And Robin's kind of piecing things together here. Like Caesar did the manufacturing, Doflamingo distributed it, and then those weapons would go to people like Kaido. And Luffy's pissed at Caesar.
Yeah,
of course,
he's trying to call him or something.
Probably, but Doggypine
is there.
Yep, Doggypine is kind of taking He's kind of like changing topics, but he's more interested in Luffy's hat now because apparently he and the other one Nekomamushi have actually met Shanks back when before he met Luffy.
Yeah.
Like he recalled running into a man Shanks who wore a similar hat, but before Luffy can actually ask about that, he falls asleep like Ace at a buffet.
Well, you know what? Luffy should understand how everyone else feels now because this is what him and Garp do all the time.
Do that? Luffy never does that though.
Oh, they did it when Garp. Not all the time, but at least
Garp and Ace do it.
No. When Garp was there, he was beating him down Luffy right after the Ennie's lobby arc.
Right, and then they both fell asleep.
Both fell asleep. So Luffy does do it at least occasionally. And
apparently, as Wanda explains, the daytime animals will all start to become sleepier or lethargic effective 6 p.m. Because apparently, that's when Duke Inuarashi loses he stops being the Duke, and it's the Night Duke who takes over. Like, the dog is the official king of the land, but the Cat Viper guards the Whale Forest, a sacred place revered by them for a long time.
Yeah.
And they're basically equal.
And they also don't like each other.
Yeah, like they used to be friends, now they can't stand each other. And they always fight, and it ends in a stalemate, like the Giants.
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot about those guys.
And like I said, even the daytime animals are falling asleep. They're like the nurse and the goat. Even Sicilian is starting to do... Oh, real quick, the Viz version of his name, it actually is Sicilian, Shishi.
Okay.
The joke there, that Shishi means lion.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they could also go with Sicilian, like Lion at the end, but still, either way works.
Okay.
Yeah. So we kind of flash back here as he falls asleep. I don't know if he's just telling the story again or if he's just dreaming it. As they fight Jack's forces, the Musketeers arrive, and we actually see Wanda among them.
Yeah.
Is Kara in there too? I can't tell right at first glance. Oh, there she is. I see her right above Wanda. Yeah. So there are definitely fighters in that case.
And then we have the first off we see them attacking, and then we have we see them attacking the gifters, and then some of them turn into animals. Well,
more specifically, in the case of one gifter, his fist turns into a wolf.
Oh yeah, his fist turns into a wolf. Yeah, so he doesn't turn an animal. The fist turns into an animal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, wolf grip. Yeah, there we go. And then so they're like, oh, are they from like a different race or something?
Yeah.
Or is that what they said? Oh yeah, that's what they said. But
like an unknown race.
Yeah, but they're just eating smile fruits apparently. But now we get a reveal of the three musketeers.
And we apparently have the lion, a zebra, and is that supposed to be a fox?
Is this a reference to something else?
I don't know. I'm disappointed we're not seeing a lion and a bear and a tiger. Or a tiger and a bear, rather. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Inurashi.
Yep.
The three Inurashi Musketeers.
Since we're kind of bringing this up right here, like I said, I told you before, I listen to the One Piece podcast a lot, especially since we've started doing these reviews. And one of their regular guests is like the translator for the Viz version, the guy who actually does the work for that. And one thing he's like, apparently the Zoe wordplay was giving him a lot of trouble. Like he even actually like wrote to the editors in Japan and asked them about it, which is something something he never really does or ever really supposed to do. But and apparently what's going on is like he was thinking that there's supposed to be like an animal pun in there, like because I guess he can combine the dog and porcupine, but he kind of had the wrong idea. He revealed because like apparently the idea was supposed to be something more like dog storm, like because Arasi can also mean storm.
Okay.
In fact, when he was talking about it, it reminded me back in NES Lobby. Remember when Zoro was using Usopp as a sword?
Yeah.
And he named like Hana Arasi or Nose Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I don't know what Nekomamashi is supposed to be, but that just translates to Cat Viper, which I wonder about because like we get a look at. Well, we'll get there in a bit. So, like I said, the dog storm appears, and that is actually a pretty badass name if you think about it. He makes his appearance, confronts Jack, and actually he tries to tell him like this confrontation is pointless. It will not produce any good results here, buddy. Like the person you want is not here. This conflict has no meaning. Yeah, if you want to look around, go ahead. We won't stop you.
Yeah. He puts down the sword though.
Yeah, he does it first, I guess, as a peace gesture.
Yeah, well, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, because Jack is like he doesn't care. He just wants to cause destruction.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? They constantly showing Jack's eye, like constantly being like, very crazy, psychopathic.
Yep.
But anyway, thankfully, the Duke was powerful, and he actually managed to like punch away the trunk of the.
He just brushes the attack off there, yeah. And all of Jack's subordinates are shocked at this, especially since, as they reveal, like Jack is infamous. His name resonates all throughout the New World. He has a bounty of 1 billion berries.
Yeah, is that there's a person behind the depiction of the mammoth? Is that supposed to be his human form?
That, or maybe one of his subordinates just trying to talk him up.
Okay.
Could go either way. But it's like, the Duke tries to tell him like, don't jump to conclusions. But Jack's like, I'll say this once and only once. I'll stop this mayhem when the samurai is before me. If you cannot bring him here, then that'll be your problem.
I kind of wish he was a bear, because when I read that, I was like, Yosinda bear. Bear.
Yeah, we'll see. We have enough animals to be going on with.
Yeah. But, I mean, 1 billion! Holy shit!
Yes, I mean, like I said, that's the single biggest bounty we have ever seen to date. I mean, even Doflamingo's like, what, 340?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the bounties were frozen, or, I mean, there's a lot of things, then bounties are not exactly accurate. But they're always underestimating the bounty. So
yeah.
It's crazy. Like, oh my, I thought that was Gold Roger or something like that. You know?
I mean, you would have expected him to have like somewhere in the billions. I mean, is he going to be in the trillions then?
He's not even a Yonko. Holy shit.
Right. It's kind of funny because you mentioned that on Twitter. And I'm thinking that's the kind of stuff they say about Zoro.
Yeah,
like, he's just powerful and he's not the captain.
But that happened with some. I mean, Zoro had a high, but we kind of grew with Zoro. I mean, 1 billion that's twice as much as Luffy. That's the thing. Like, there's only one other case where like the first mate had a really high bounty in the Supernova 11.
That was like Kid and Killer.
Yeah. And Kid had the highest back then, so it's kind of like okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, what the hell is Kaido then?
Yep. I know. Well, we already know he's supposed to be like crazy powerful, so it's not that big a shock. But you would have expected him to have the billion. Yeah,
exactly. So it's kind of like, and also I have another question: Has anyone ever cashed in on any of these guys?
That is a good question. I said the last time we saw a bounty hunter was like Jean Ongo or something, which is one of the contestants in the Dressrosa Coliseum. He gets taken out by Chin Zhao, and then we don't see anything of him ever after that.
I mean, yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, I mean, they'd probably the world government would probably go bankrupt if all this money was being cashed in. And maybe that's why they're throwing in such huge numbers, you know? At the same time, it's sort of like, wow. I'm actually curious to see who actually would go get these guys and turn them in for money because you'd be living the good life. Just one of these guys.
No kidding. There, I said, and within the flashback, the clock strikes 6. You hear the roar of the cat viper, and so the Duke dog, he pretty much calls everyone back because the moron of the night has finally awoken. They fall back, and in this case, their idea is they can restore their strength while the enemy just keeps depleting theirs on their other forces. And he warns Jack that he's not the only obstinate, stubborn jackass roaming these parts.
Yeah.
And at that point, this is when we get a good look at the Cat Viper and his guardians.
Yep.
And they're pretty much just charging in. It's when the moon shines bright, this country belongs to me. We show no mercy. You got a pipe too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did not see that.
Yeah. I see he's pretty much attacking. He's maneuvering all around and getting around Jack pretty easily to do an attack. It looks like he's judo slams him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Master the town. Oh, don't mind the little things.
No wonder why they can't get along. I'm sure the dog was probably the more peaceful one, while this guy's the more violent one.
That's what it looks like here. So you're in search of the warrior from the Wano country? The samurai were stupid enough to set foot on this island, and if something of the sort happened on my watch, you'd already be digesting in my stomach. For I am the Cat Viper, the man who awaits the dawn of this world. And it looks like at this point Jack seems to go back to human form.
Yeah.
And I can't... number one, at the bottom end of this, apparently it's only been 2 chapters, but One Piece is already going on break again. And then we'll probably have the Christmas...
Oh, it is? I didn't see that! Damn it!
Yeah, and then we're going to have a Christmas break right after that, I think, too. Well, I won't begrudge him. He gets a little 2-week vacation. Let him have his fun.
Okay, fine.
But one thing I was noticing here, I can't tell because of the little One Piece logo thing in the way, but does it look like Jack's smiling there to you?
I think that's like a mask.
Actually, I genuinely cannot tell because that thing's in the way. Even though we're getting the Dawn sound effect.
Remember people a lot thought that he might have been Captain Morgan, but obviously he's too powerful to be Captain Morgan. And he's not... it's a different name, but it looks
actually,
like...
you know what? I could almost see something here. He started out weak, but then apparently, he gets his devil fruit, and maybe he goes so crazy that it just destroys his inhibitions and inhibitors, and that makes him get crazy strong. But a 1 billion berry bounty is something that takes time, I would think. That's not something you can get in just 2 years.
Yeah. Not to mention you have to also get Kaido's attention, and become one of the 3 calamities.
Exactly. I think we effectively ruled out that this is not.
But maybe it's something similar to Morgan when he did get his jaw broken or something,
Very possibly.
I mean, this is a guy who loves fighting, supposedly. So I
think he likes violence more than fighting.
Well, yeah, violence. Yeah, violence. And so I'm sure he's probably found 1 or 2 enemies who were able to at least injure him in a way that kind of he had to get a replacement, a metal replacement or something. He doesn't seem to be the type of guy who smiles. He seems to be the guy who's just constantly angry or something.
Well, psychotic smile.
Psycho
smirk.
I don't think that's him. That's Jack's character. I think he's the psychotic. I'm gonna kill everyone because I'm always angry type of shit. Because it doesn't. Yeah, but they're really going for the whole crazy look. If he's, I wonder how powerful he is compared to Luffy. Because I know he can't beat a fleet admiral and an admiral at the same time. I know that.
Yeah, I think we can assume Luffy could possibly fight an admiral to a standstill at the very least. So.
Yeah. Maybe it's Sanji's guy to take down. I don't know.
Huh? Could be interesting to see right there.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're still kind of getting built up on here, though. Now that we got the Cat Viper on here, that we got something kind of new to see on this. I wonder now if the Cat Viper is going to have some extra pun on here that we'll find out about, but I guess we'll see about that. I mean, at the very least, like I said, it's kind of bearing out what we were told earlier, that the Minks actually had the advantage until the poison weapon came into play.
I don't know. I'm assuming that the Cat Viper's also still alive, right?
Oh yeah, because they've been talking about they haven't talked to him like he's dead or anything. Yeah.
So and I'm assuming that obviously the Straws will come in and help them, but I didn't see any bodies because we said this last time. It doesn't have to be the same weapon, but I'm curious to see what kind of weapon they were using. Maybe it's not lethal, but detrimental. It takes them out of the fight. I don't know.
I realize it might wear him down or something like that.
Because I have a question though. As I look, the Starlight crew was pretty strong, but they didn't have. There was half the crew were gone, and they were the stronger half too.
Yeah.
So what made Jack go away?
That's a good question. Like I said, did they get something like what they were after, or did something else happen?
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see because maybe that's what Sanji did. I don't know.
I mean, it's possible he may have taken Caesar.
Maybe.
Because that would definitely be a worthy prize to take back.
And maybe Sanji is going after those two.
Yeah. Because we at least know he wasn't kidnapped or anything, because they specifically said that.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is that Jack, like as we said, the bounties don't represent the power; it represents the danger they are. And maybe the reason why he has such a high bounty is because he causes destruction for no real reason. Because all the other pirates, there's always an angle to them. They want money, they want this, they want that. Jack just does it for the hell of it.
Yeah, it's like, give me what I want, and I don't care if you're actually physically incapable of not giving me what I want. I want it.
Yeah. And yeah, but so some guy even said, like, I think Kaido technically might have the highest bounty because he's the one who just causes calamity for the hell of it, or at least his people.
Yep. It's like at the very least we don't know enough about what and how they operate, but Big Mom at least seems to be the one most prone to causing actual havoc to people because she'll burn entire islands for sweets.
Yeah, but as I said, there's an angle. Like, you just give her what she wants, or like you can make a deal with her. It seems like with Jack, you can't make a deal because they even said, like, Jack, you can look at all our shit. Like, it does. Like, we're not gonna stop you. You can go in and fight. And he's like, no, I'm gonna cause destruction. Even to someone like Big Mom, it's like if you give her if you at least try to help her in some way, she won't attack him because she sees the plus and minuses of the benefits.
Well, but even then, if she's not gonna get her way, she'll still do it. Because remember back at the end of Fishman Island, they tried to convince her to take the money and the gold instead of the sweets because they couldn't provide the sweets. But she's like, screw that.
Yeah, true. Well, I think she's just really fixated on the sweets.
Well, but the way she puts it is like, what kind of pirate compromises on what they want?
True. At the same time, though, I think it's weird because then we have Shanks, who doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Yeah, no, it's like he is just kind of doing his own thing. Blackbeard seems to be the ambitious one, but we don't really know much about his activities.
Yeah, you're right on the big one though. She does seem to. She is probably. I'll say this. She is probably more compromising than Jack, but not as compromising as many other pirates.
Yeah. Yeah, because like Shanks will probably like Shanks or even Whitebeard would be probably at least be understanding as long as you didn't insult them in some way.
Yeah, Blackbeard technically, you can even argue is also because he wants to build his empire, and you don't do that by just killing everyone you see, right? So you need to make allies and shit like that. Because he seems to be about making. He's very ambitious, so he has to be smart about that. No use killing anyone who could work for you, right? Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. It's they're just talking about right now. They're just talking about bounties in the comment section.
Yeah. Because like I said, Jack. This is a big deal. Like Jack is the highest bounty we have seen to date.
Yeah.
And it goes into a whole other set of digits.
Yeah, that means that we're starting into the 1.6 billion enemies now. I'll also point out that we've seen how many a bunch of eye shots of Jack. How many times have we seen of Doflamingo? Yeah. Right, it's like the opposite of Doflamingo. Like we never saw his eyes. We saw his face. Now it's Jack. We don't see his face really, but we see his eyes all the time. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do hope that Raizo comes in soon, though. But,
yeah, because I want to see what's going on there. Like I said, I wonder if offhand if Sanji is looking to find Raizo, see if he actually is there on the island somewhere.
Possibly.
I mean, that could be something as well.
Well, he's a ninja, right? So maybe he was there. He was actually there, but he's being a ninja and hiding really well. I
almost wonder if it's he didn't show up. It seems like a bad way to do a joke, but I almost wonder if he didn't show up because he's actually really shy.
Oh my god! That's awful! Oh my god!
That would be a horrible reason for him not to show up when everyone's in danger. But then again, at this moment, everyone's not really in that much danger. Because they're holding their own.
I have a question, though. If they do find him, you point this out, that the minks don't judge you for something that you haven't done.
Right. So, that's what I wondered about. Could this whole thing be a red herring about this?
Yeah, because remember, the Straw Hats, while they understand that, they're not used to the idea. So maybe they think to themselves, okay, let's not risk it. But maybe even then, they'd be like, oh, hey, they might, or is he the exception, or is it because they cause so much destruction that the anger kind of clouds their normal reaction to this type of thing,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the problem is that it could go it could go either way. Like, I could see Oda writing it in such a way that it could go either way.
Yeah, so there's a few different ways like that we can probably proceed from here. I'm not quite sure what to expect at this point, at least as far as what direction we'll go in.
Yeah, but apparently, so that means that there are also 2 other calamities, right?
Yeah, like what they'll be called, like there's gonna be like what they're gonna do, like hurricane or tornado.
Well, yeah, because for Jack it's drought.
Right.
So is
plague? Locust.
Wait. 3 calamities and 7 disasters. Okay, I got the 3.
Oh, you have something?
Oh, or something. You can. Oh, it's a song. Let me see if I actually have. There's Okay.
Search this out while you
the
pull
3
up
calamities
well.
they're called fire, water, and wind. I don't know.
Okay, so drought could be water.
What else? Wind.
Tornado.
Ooh, yeah.
Of course, then again, you could also go hurricane for water and drought for fire.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I wonder what. Well, I got
drought is listed as one of the 7 disasters.
Okay, so the translation error, maybe? I don't know.
It's hard to say. Wonder if this has been brought up anywhere before, though. That's kind of a neat thing to find out.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious now. Anyway,
yeah.
So I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, I think we're good to go at this point. Like I said, One Piece. Like I said, it's on break next week, so there won't be any chapter for there. And then some point this month, we'll probably also have a Christmas break. So I don't know if we'll. I think we can probably. Like, they'll probably have a chapter next. They'll have the break next week, a chapter week after that, and then the Christmas break. And maybe the New Year break too. I don't know if there'll be an extended break at that stage. If so, we might be out of commission for a little while.
But I did like this chapter. I mean,
yeah.
if you because this is not focused on the Sanrio thing anymore.
Yeah.
At least not right now. We can focus on, the Minks being awesome and
they are awesome.
And then of course the surprise of they were like there was a baby that can do martial arts and like shoot lightning at people. That was awesome.
Yeah. One thing the One Piece podcast brought up, like I guess somebody suggested it on there. Like some people wrote in and suggested, and also one of them came up with the idea themselves. A source of the electricity, static electricity.
Right.
Because of how furry and fuzzy they are.
Yeah. Huh.
And one person even suggested, I think it was like a fan write-in, was because that's why they're so physically, why they always nuzzle each other to build it up.
Oh. Oh shit.
Yeah. If that's the case, it's a sign that he really puts that thought into that stuff.
Yeah. Although it's also because I think their personalities. I think it's like both for like actual practical uses and as well as just them like liking to cuddle things.
Yep.
I don't know what they might get out of Brooke.
I love the fact that the Duke dog is just drooling at the side of him. Such an appetizing savior.
Anyway, well, yeah, I mean, the dogs don't technically eat bones, but sure.
Well, but still, they like to chew on them.
Yeah. All right.
Poor Brooke, this is like the worst place for him. I have to admit, when I first saw that chapter, I was cracking up for a good solid minute or so, and that was like the first page of the chapter too. It was like I just cracked up.
But we also get the big reveal about Jack's bounty. So that means we're breaking into a whole new world now. See what I did there?
Oh yeah, a whole new, brand new point of view.
No. See what I did? New world.
Ah, that too.
Yeah.
I took the wrong reference from that.
Anyway, so I think that's about it, though. So
yeah,
until
we got
until next chapter. Yeah.
Yep. That'll be a couple weeks for One Piece, but everything else should still come through. I want to say, I think by, not next week, but probably the week before, we'll probably have our next Attack on Titan chapter. Because that's usually the 10th of the month, right?
I probably.
Yeah, so this Tuesday, the 7th, the 8th will be when we put out these videos. And then, usually, that seems to be when Attack on Titan comes around, right? Around the early part of the month there. So we'll probably have at least Attack on Titan chapter go along with Bleach by that point.
Yeah.
Right. So in that case, go ahead and take us away.
Bye!